Welcome back to Lift Your Monday. We took a week off, but I'm glad you guys are back and you stuck with me. I preach self-care, and I'm going to live it if I preach it. So thank you for being here. I just took the week off to kind of regroup and bring it back. So before we get to that, I just want to give a shout out to Valen's Clothing. If you haven't heard of Valen's Clothing, the weight room's been wearing it around a lot lately. This shirt right here is Valen's. Our human performance shirts are Valen's. It's the best workout gear. It's an awesome clothing company for fitness, comfortable athletic wear ranging from tanks to shirts. It's all a great price too. You're getting quality gear for cheap. There's nothing over $30. It's awesome. I wear it all the time when I work out now. I wear it when I coach. It's the only thing I want to wear when I'm in the weight room. Right now, he has a sale going on. It's his Black Friday sale, but he started early. Everything is at least 45 to 75% off. You're not going to find better deals for shirts like this. Go check it out. Also, if you're interested in our human performance shirts, the one I'm wearing right now has the Broncos logo on the back right here. We have the crimson. We have gray and we have black. Just go to valensclothing.com, click on the Hastings at the top. There's a code you'll type in. It's Broncos 1882. The word Broncos, capital B, numbers 1882. Type it in, get your shirt. They're $17. It is a great deal for the quality of shirt that you're going to get. He's worked with us. He loves what we're doing, so go support him. Great company. Today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Mikaelah Molifua. If you do not know her story, you are in for a treat. I'll just leave it to that because it's going to be great. Next week, my goal is we're going to kind of switch it up. We're going to talk about two different topics. The first one will be about time, and the second one will be about weightlifting. And I know we talked about like time management, but this one's going to be a little different. It's about what you care about time-wise. I got some good things to talk about. And then also weightlifting. If you have weightlifting topics, go put it on our website. Our website is qlh.me/liftyourmonday, or go hit me up on Instagram, send me a message what you want me to talk about. I posted something on my story the other day. If you didn't see it because you're not following me, go follow. I post everything on there. My Instagram is h_jones01 and my Twitter is coachjones_HC. Go follow both if you want to get updates about the podcast. I'm excited to be back, guys. We got some good things coming, great things coming. I apologize. Got to check myself, but it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited for today. And do not forget to lift your Monday. Welcome back to Lift Your Monday. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Mikaelah Molifua. She is the coach of the cheer and dance team here at Hastings College, and she is one of my best friends. She has a phenomenal story. If you want to talk about perseverance, strength, anything like that, this is the person. I really didn't know what to do with this podcast because there's so many things I wanted to talk about. And I was going through my outlines, trying to figure it out. And all I could think about was I just want you guys to hear her story. I want you to hear where she comes from, what she's been through, what she's going through, and the fact that she's still here getting a master's, coaching two teams at the same time, and working out. It's crazy, but working out is amazing. So, Mikaelah Molifua.
I guess I'll just kind of start at the beginning. I was born in Vista, California, and that's where my dad's family's from. And then we moved out to Manchester, Connecticut when I was like 2. That's where my mom's family's at. So two polar opposite ends of our country, and they met in California. My mom was working, and my dad was the file guy pushing his papers, and he was like, oh, I'll take the top floor. There's a really pretty lady up there. And so that's how they met. I think their story's so cute. And he proposed to her on Valentine's Day. I don't know if that matters, but it's just so cute. And that's how we got here. And we ended up moving back to California. I went to school for a little bit, and then I don't know how, but we made it to Nebraska. We stayed with my uncle and aunt for a little bit, and then they're like, well, do you want to go down to Missouri? And we're like, no, we really love it here. Let's just stay here, and that's where we've been ever since. So went to Lincoln North Star High School, really kind of found my niche in cheer and softball, and then I tried soccer for a little bit. That was fun, but it's definitely not my forte, I guess, and just got to hang out with a lot of friends all the time. So stuck with cheer and stuck with softball. That worked out for me pretty well. And then my older brother Casey, who you've had on the show before, he came out here and was like, yeah, this is the fit for me. And so he kind of guided us to Hastings, and obviously we've stuck, and Ethan's here now, and I've kind of just followed him here. When I was in high school, the story that Hayden's talking about, my sophomore year of high school, I tore my ACL, my left ACL, and that was, my sophomore year in high school. And then I got cleared, and probably a week later, my dad was in the hospital. He had 3 brain aneurysms, the 3 different kinds you can have, that caused a stroke, and he was rushed to one of the hospitals in Lincoln, and then life-flighted to UNMC in Omaha, and was basically put on his deathbed. He had 7 days. The doctors gave him 7 days, and the 8th day, my dad decided to come out, and he started talking, not very much, but he had just he woke up, I guess, and he started rehab and never really became his full self again. There's a part of your brain that got part of his brain that got damaged, and he was never able to carry a conversation. So like what we're having, he he understood what people said to him, but he could never say things back. It would take him a very long time to get out bits and pieces of a sentence or of a thought that he had, and then after that he would just get frustrated and not talk anymore. So for a while he was getting really a lot better, and he was able, we were able to understand what things he needed or if he needed our help. And then my senior year of high school, I was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. It started in my neck. I had huge lymph nodes that were like swollen lymph nodes, and my teammates noticed them, and they're like, dude, you got to get that checked out. And I was like, I actually can't, or else it will cost my family so much money, because my dad was no longer working. My mom had lost her job because she was trying to help my dad, or just make sure that my dad would be okay on his own. And they weren't bothering me, so I didn't get them checked out. And then we were in San Antonio, Texas for a cheer halftime performing at the Alamo Bowl. And I was just not myself. I was sleeping all the time, not wanting to hang out with my friends, which for anybody who knows me knows that I'm definitely a social person. I love being around people. And so my mom was just like, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, I feel fine. I'm just tired. And then my lymph nodes, I think, just started like rubbing together, and it started a huge pain in my neck. And when we got home, I got him checked out, and my nurse had ruled out mono, which is not a good thing when you have swollen lymph nodes, because that's like their first check before obviously other things happen. So she ruled out mono, and she's like, we need to get you in to a doctor ASAP. So they did a biopsy, and they sent that off for more tests, and those weren't conclusive. They were pretty sure that it was cancer, but they were just like, we can't be 100% sure. So I went to an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and they did a surgical biopsy, and he checked that out. He ended up calling my mom like a week or 2 later, and I got a text message while I was sitting in my stats class. I had a lot of my really good friends in that class, and I was like, my mom just texted me with the results, or that she had the results, so I'm going to call her after class. Immediately after the bell rang, I called my mom. She was like, hey, I have the results. I said, okay, what are they? And she's like, it's cancer. And I said, okay, now what? And she was just like, well, we go to more doctor's visits. We'll go up to Children's up in Omaha, and we'll kind of go from there and see what they say, what the protocol is for them. I said, okay. And she's like, are you okay? And I said, yeah. And she was like, I said, are you okay? And she said, yep. And we hung up, and immediately I went to my locker. I started crying and went to my cheer coaches / newspaper advisor. I went straight to her room and just kind of spent the rest of the day there with my really close friends. And after that, we started chemo almost immediately. I wanted to get through my senior night for cheer, and they let me do that. So that next Monday, my senior night was Saturday. Monday was my first round of chemo, and then it took about 4 months of chemo, like 4 days or 3 days inpatient, and then I got to go home the rest of the week. 2 more days inpatient, got to go home the rest of the week. 1 more day infusion, back up in Omaha, so going to Omaha every single time. And then I would get the rest of the month off, so the rest of the 2 weeks, 4-week period off. Then I would go back and start that few days inpatient, and then, so that happened for 4 cycles, and then I got a break, and then I started radiation in Omaha, in Gretna, at their Papillion Med Center, I guess, and did that for a month and a half. I actually finished on my dad's birthday, which was really cool. We celebrated his birthday and me being done the same time, so that was kind of it. And then came to college. I got to try out for the cheer team here while I was going through all of my treatment, made the team, and I was like, I guess that's it. And I decided not to do softball. It just, I guess that was God's plan. So I stuck with cheer and helped Nikki Kimura, my former coach, kind of build this program to what it is now.
So before you came here, though, you were cleared of your cancer.
Yes, I would have gotten done in July, and we started school in August. So, like, when we met, I was done.
Okay,
yes.
Awesome.
Yep, I was done July 12th, and we started school August, whatever.
What was that feeling like beating it?
I don't know. So, looking back at it now, I don't remember a lot of what happened. I remember it was cool. Like, I showed up, did my treatment, went home. By the end, I remember feeling pretty miserable just because it kicks your butt. And I just, like, I was like, well, I don't have a choice, you know, like, it's either this or not live. And, you know, I am such a lively person that wasn't an option for me. So when I got done, there's this bell that you ring when you finish all of your treatment. And I was in such a bad place that I didn't even ring the bell. I was like, no, I want to go home. I just want to be done with this. And I think that caught my mom off surprise. You know, she was with me every single step of the way. And I think that kind of threw her and the doctors off, just because that's not my personality at all. Like, I mean, you know me, but I was just like, I don't want to. Like, so I didn't. Not that I regret it, because I always had this saying to myself, like, I will never regret anything in my life. And up to this day, I don't regret anything, but I do, like, it's sad to say that I didn't, but now I have a chance to ring it again, so you know, I get to go back. So I was cleared. I was in remission in July, started school in August, started cheering on the sidelines, you know, loved coming to college. It was a whole new experience, and I made so many friends. Like, I think we met at mini golf that first day of new student days. We met on the putt-putt course, and, like, not really friends after that. Like, we had met, we're like, hey, Hayden, Mick, whatever. And then he played football, like, just kind of.
Funny story about that, right? I was talking to my mom. She was telling me about she remembers the first time she ever met you.
Really?
It was at the football game, and she said, yeah, this girl just comes up to us and goes, whose parents are you? And she goes, Hayden. She goes, oh, I just met him, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
She's like, I will never forget that moment, because that is the most Mikaelah Molifua thing ever.
Yeah, and it is, like, I am just, some people would call it obnoxious, which is fine. That's a part of who I am. That's kind of a piece of me. I just love meeting people, and I love getting to know people's stories. So kind of what we're doing, like, I just love having friends. Like, I am fine by myself. Like, I don't mind being alone by myself, but I just love social interaction. Like, I love getting to know people. So yeah, I'm not surprised that I did that at all, because I say all the time, like, I have the worst memory alive. Like, I don't remember half of the stories in my entire life.
Oh, yeah.
And so that is, yeah, it's definitely a Mikaelah thing of me to do. So kind of back to it, I was cleared. I had met a lot of people. They wanted to know my story. It's not very often you get to meet somebody so young who, one, has cancer, 2, survives it, and 3, goes to college, pursues something, does something, you know. Yeah. So I think it was just kind of cool for people to know. And then got through college, helped build a program, decided to stick with the program as an assistant coach and start my master's. And I ended up playing softball my senior year here. And that was a really cool feeling for me. I was like, man, I just lived out 2 of my bucket list goals, my dreams. I got to play college softball. I got to participate in college cheer. Like, nothing is cooler than crossing things off your bucket list. And I had eligibility left over, so my first year of my master's, I got to play softball again. And I ended up messing up my knee the first weekend out, and then not even a couple months down the road, the next month, my dad had just progressively gotten more and more unhealthy, I guess. He just got worse. He was on hospice for a little bit because his plan, his medications, in my opinion, weren't helping him. It was just kind of hindering him and keeping him from meeting our Heavenly Father again. And so my mom made that tough decision to put him on hospice. And after that, it didn't take very long for him to just be able to let go. And so my dad passed away last March, and I ended up tearing my ACL that same spring. And so I went to the doctor. They're like, yeah, you tore it. Like, okay. Well, then I got this. I had to go to a dermatologist because I had this, I know it's going to sound gross or weird, but I had this growth in my belly button, and it was not right. And so my mom took me to her dermatologist. They're like, no, you need to see, like, the big dogs. You need to go in. And I was like, okay, well, pray to the Lord. Mm-hmm. And so we went in. She was like, okay, my doctor removed the little nodule, I guess you could call it, and sent it off to a pathologist to get tests run. And a couple weeks later, she texted me. She was like, hey, I don't have the results yet, but we're going to get something figured out. Unknowingly, this happened the day before my dad's birthday again. So a couple weeks later, she texted me. She was like, hey, we still don't have the results, but as soon as I find out, I'll let you know. It's like, okay, sounds good. Thanks so much. And by this time, I was just like, I have this gut-wrenching feeling. I was like, you know what? If it is what it's supposed to be, then I'll just let it happen. I don't have a choice. She finally called me. She was like, hey, give me a call when you can. I said, okay. So I called her, and she was like, I don't know how else to tell you this. I was like, just shoot me straight. Like, you know my family. We've been through this. Like, just let me know. And she was like, okay, well, that nodule is coming from your ovaries, and it's serous carcinoma, or I think that's the word. I have no idea. And she was like, basically, it's cancer in your ovaries. And so I was like, okay, so what does that mean? She was like, you should get into see an oncologist as soon as possible. We'll see what we can do, but that's what it's looking like. I said, okay. So started seeing one of the doctors here in town, got a recommendation to go to the cancer center here, and basically from there it's just kind of been a journey. I used to go every 3 weeks for 2 different medicines, and then that wasn't really working right. It wasn't I wasn't getting healthier, but I wasn't getting worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, this isn't doing anything, and the growth in my belly button had actually come back, and they're like, well, we need to change something because something's not working. So we just switched up my 2 medicines to 2 different ones recently. I've already, like, my hair's already growing back. That nodule in my belly button is getting smaller, so, like, I really can't complain. So
no, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's diagnosed in July, started treatment mid-August because I had to wait for after my ACL surgery to start. And then I got the okay to start, and we've just been going since. So now it's November.
So when do they, like, check again to see where everything's at?
I think December sometime. I just show up, get the treatment. I meet at the front desk, and they say, okay, your next appointment is this day. I'm like, okay, sounds great. I'll see you then. So I just kind of show up when I'm supposed to. And then I think mid-December, end of December, to run more scans. But the way I feel, like this medicine has gone way better than the last one. I mean, I was out a few days because my bones just hurt so bad that I was like, I'm not getting out of bed. I'm sorry. Like my cheer and dance captains can take care of practice for a day. You can take care of the girls in the weight room or in Kiewit with conditioning for a morning. Like, I'm good. And then my professors have been super nice. Luckily, Casey's one of them. Becky Hammock, who's been through breast cancer, she's been another. And Nick Dinan, he's just underneath Becky and friends with Casey. And he's like, whatever you need, Mikaelah, just let us know. So it's been pretty easy going as far as school, classes, and just kind of going with the flow, honestly. That's just who I am, I think.
Yeah, no doubt about that. When it comes to like chemo, like nobody would truly understand what that's like until actually going through it.
Right.
But if you could put it in words, what would that be like?
I would say my senior year of high school is a lot different than me going through this now. My senior year of high school, it was hard. Like, I had 8 different drugs being pumped in me. I had steroids being pumped in me just like keep my body going, and then different medicines to like keep my immune system up. So that was like way harder than it is now. I was also traveling an hour away from all of my friends. I was not in school for a couple of days out of the week just because I wasn't feeling well or I was in getting treatment. So the actual process, not so bad. Missing my friends, being away from just being at my house, the comfort of your own home, your own bed, being away from your family, like it, they don't get to travel. And I would say Casey's been like a best friend to me since we were little, and we were so close. But when he was in college, he had no idea what I was going through, and so talking to him wasn't going to do a lot just because he wasn't around. So it was so hard then. Now, I would say the side effects of the first 2 drugs, horrible. Like the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. What I explained to people is it felt like getting hit with a bus and just like laying down and being like, okay, eventually I'll stop hurting, because no medicine, no ibuprofen, Tylenol, like nothing was helping my bones at all. Like it just would not go deep enough. And so I just kind of put up with it, and it was like getting hit by a truck. Now I get a stomach ache and a little bit nauseous and sitting. I think the worst thing is just sitting still for a few hours out of my morning. I'm like, I could be doing other things. Like I have 2 teams I'm supposed to worry about. I have classes I'm supposed to be like, I'm a master's student. It's not an easy journey. I'm not saying that it's the hardest thing I've ever done, obviously, but it's not the easiest thing. And so just kind of making sure everybody is taken care of in a sense of like, okay, is everything going to be okay without me there? Which it always goes fine. Yeah. So I think, I don't know, does that answer your question?
No, yeah, definitely. And like with that, like you're going through chemo, like it's, what like chemo is what's the word I'm looking for? It's not radiation, but what?
It's like, I mean, I get it through my IV.
It's like
intravenous.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty much, it's killing your body in a way.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you come in like when the team is working out is like truly one of the most incredible things I've seen.
I just think like I'm already kind of lazy, so I know that it's only going to benefit me. It's only going to make me feel better for the most part. I'm going to be sore afterwards. Doing some of the things that they're doing, like I know I'm going to be sore, but it's because I've been out for a while. I just had ACL surgery. I'm like, the new medicine I'm on targets my heart a little bit, so I have to have like a healthy heart. So I know I get out of breath easily. Honestly, just talking sometimes I'm like, oh man, I can't even catch my breath talking, So I would say like, yeah, I do talk a lot. I would say that that's one of the hard parts, but I just like, I have nothing else to do. Like I'm sitting here watching 20 some female athletes like get after it, grind. So I'm like, gosh, I just want to be out there. Like, I want to do this. Like, I want to prove to them that I'm not just some lazy bum coach, that I can, for the most part, keep up with them in terms of dance, not so much, but that I can physically keep up with them. Like, that I'm not just somebody who's coming in, bossing them around. Like, I'm actually walking the walk, not just talking, you know.
And I think I can probably speak for every single one of them. Nobody thinks you're lazy. I mean, because I don't think anybody understands what you're going through unless they've been through it. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I see you going through this and then I see you working out just makes me think, like, whatever I have going on in my day that I think is hard is, like, not even comparable.
I'm glad that you bring that up, because it took especially my really close friends a while to understand that what's hard for me or what's hard for you isn't the same hard for me.
Yeah.
What I always say is that God knows what I can be pushed through. He knows 100%. What you can be pushed through. He knows what Danny can be pushed through. Anybody. He knows what they can be put through before being to a breaking point. Like, 100% I feel that he gave this challenge to me because he knows that I can overcome it. And if I don't overcome it, like, I'm not saying I'm not going to, like, that's not the thing. But if I can't, that he knows I need to come back to him and be with him and my dad. And just, like, I don't know, I'm such a strong believer that what's hard for me is not the same hard for you. So if you're having a hard day, like, I don't even know what's hard for you, you know what I mean? Yeah. But, like, if you're just so tired, you wake up at 4 o'clock every day. Well, you wake up before that to start working out at 4 o'clock every single day. Like, that's hard for me. I would never want to be up that early and get, like, be done with my workout before any of my teams come in. Like, nah. Like, 100% not me. Like, that would be hard for me. Yeah. That's why I don't do it. This would be hard for you, or you can't imagine what it's like because you haven't been through it. Because, not that God doesn't think you can go through it, but, like, he just knows other people that can get through it. And what you need to be doing, what I need to be doing, that's just what it is.
And, like, how I look at that is, like, yeah, it might be tough. It's still hard for me. Like, getting up at 3:30 is awful. But then I'm done. But at the same time, I think, like, if you can come in at 6 and work out, like, why can't I just get up a little bit earlier, push my body a little bit? Like, I know I'm not pushing my body to the point that you're pushing yours, you know? And I'm not saying, like, everybody needs to, like, compare themselves to you, but I'm saying, like, sometimes we need to look and see, like, no matter what, somebody always is going through a little more.
Yeah.
Somebody always has a little more on their plate than we do, and our problems might not be as big as we think they are.
Yeah.
And then you talked about it also, you know, God has a plan. God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. Mm-hmm. And it goes to the E plus R equals O.
Yeah.
Like, your event, it's put in your life for a reason. Mm-hmm. But you can still control how you respond 100%. To it. And then that outcome is your control.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked about it probably in every single podcast.
Yeah.
And it's the truth because it's your life.
Yeah.
Like, it defines who you are by how you respond.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
And a lot of people ask me, I actually was just at a shop here in town, a car shop, getting my oil changed. And this lady, one of the ladies working at the desk, she was like, hey, I saw your keychain and I noticed that you're bald. Like, do you have cancer? And she was like, I hope this isn't too intrusive. I said, no, I have no problem you asking me that. Thank you for asking. Because some people are so ignorant, they have, you know, they just assume things. So I said, no, thank you for asking. Yes, I do. This is actually my second time. Kind of told her a shorter version.
You just want to rock the bald.
Yeah, and that's totally fine too. Like, no judgment. She was like, I saw your keychain. It's one of the keychains my mom got me. It's like, be bold, be yourself. And I forgot my point. But it was just like, she said, how are you so positive? It just looks like you are a pretty positive person going through this. She said, it looks like you have a pretty great outlook. And I said, I don't have any other choice. Like, if I were to be miserable physically, as in this chemo just kicked my butt, and then I'm going to go on top of that and be miserable mentally, like, where does that put me, you know? Like, no, I'm not going to sit around. Yes, I do sit around. Sorry, honey. I do sit around and be miserable sometimes. But I'm not going to do that 100% of the time. When I feel miserable, yes, let me take my moment and just suffer for 2 seconds, and then I'm going to be back. Because like, I don't have time. Like you said, I'm doing a master's. I have 2 teams, 20 some girls depending on me to be their coach. Like, I do not have time to sit around and be miserable, be mopey. Like, if I come into a workout, or if I come in to practice, just like if you were to come into a workout or into a practice miserable, like, what would that result be for our team? Like,
It'd be awful.
Yeah. And we already saw the other day, even us, we were so jacked for the day. And usually we have a really great Wednesday workout. And they came in, some of them came in just so like, oh, I guess I'm here today. Like, I did not wake up this early to see you guys not put 100% of your effort in. So I just feel like I don't have the time or energy to not be positive. That's all.
No, and I mean, if you look at it, nobody really has the time.
Yeah.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I mean, I don't want to put, but you're a perfect example. Like, things get put in your life, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you texted me a couple weeks ago saying, do people think I'm going to die?
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just not something that I ever think about first. Like, I'm just, okay, what's the next step? What happens now? You know, diagnosis, now what? And then doctors say, okay, come see us. Okay, now what? Okay, next Monday you're going to come in for such and such. Next Monday, 10 o'clock, I'll be here. You know, it never really occurred to me until the reason I text you is because I was scrolling on Twitter one night and this story came up and it was teal green, and that's the color of ovarian cancer. And I was like, oh, I wonder what this is. It was a teal ribbon, so I was like, oh, I'll look. Mississippi State softball team just had a member, Alex Wilcox is her name, just had a member of their team pass away this last spring. She was going through the same cancer, same thing, and I was like, whoa, do people think I'm going to die? Like, I'm not going to ask Casey. I'm not going to ask my little brother. I'm definitely not going to text my mom. Like, I'm sure she already has enough things to think about.
Yeah.
You know, I text Sarah. I immediately text her. I was like, dude, do people think I'm going to die? Like, I just watched this story, told her about Alex Wilcox, and then I was like, Hayden, do people think I'm going to die? And you're just like, whoa. I was like, I don't, do people think that? Because I've never just been someone to just end result, So it took me like a kind of a slap in the face, a scroll on the phone to realize like, okay, I actually may die, but like, what can I do about it?
Yeah.
I'm either going to have chemo and survive it, going to have chemo and not survive it, or not have chemo, survive it, not have chemo, not survive it. Like, who knows what path I'm supposed to go down, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it kind of like hit me in the face. Like, I don't know. It's not something that I think about. It's not something I thought about the first time. I remember in high school, I think my little brother Ethan had talked to my softball coach and was like, is my sister going to die? Like, no, she's going to be just fine. And I didn't think about it until my mom had told me that. And I was like, I just don't. So, yeah, crazy little story to come up on that. And then we ended up doing, there's this challenge, the 428 wall sit challenge, which I thought was super inspiring. And that's, I think, another thing that kind of kicked me in the butt was I remember going through this in high school and just wanting to be active. I was on the sidelines. I still continued to cheer, still continued to perform. Days after surgery, I performed at a halftime, or I performed at a basketball game. Days after another one, or a chemo round, I was performing in my last pep rally. And then this year I was just, kind of didn't use my knee as an excuse, but like I just sometimes didn't want to do things. And I saw Alex had done that wall sit 2 days after chemo. I was like, if she can do this, then I can do this, And so we had talked. I forwarded the tweet to all the women's athletic teams on campus. Volleyball took the challenge. They kind of did it on their own time. And then I was like, you know what? We should do this. Like, we should actually do this. And so, of course, I was going to have my cheer and dance teams do it. I asked Kana, one of the softball assistant coaches, since we're really good friends, I was like, would you guys want to participate? And then I was like, yeah, we should just make this a thing. So that's
Yeah.
when I messaged you, and we sent that email, like, hey, meet on this day, this time. If you want to show up, show up. Like, let's have a good presence. And the full softball team, both of my teams were there. Full women's soccer team was there. Volleyball was in like a heavy week, so they didn't end up coming. But we had some track athletes, tennis athletes, basketball. There's a few basketball girls there.
Yeah.
So it was just a really cool thing for us to do. And I was sitting with Hussein, one of the strength and conditioning coaches here, or interns here, and he was just like, you know what, Mikaelah, like, how are you doing this? And, you know, it's just like, it's not a choice for me. Or it is a choice. Like, I can either be miserable or I can decide to do something. And I was like, I may not make it through this. I haven't done anything physically active, especially legs, a lot. So I was like, you know what? He's saying, like, I'm going to do the best I can, and then that's when I'll get out. And we just started talking about, you know, changing our daily routine to just make one thing better in our day, being 1% better. You know, I kept bringing that up to him. I said, I made the choice to change how I react, one, to people or to a situation, to, man, I don't want to do my homework, but if I do my homework, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, I'm going to graduate. I want to graduate, I need to graduate, like, it's just not an option. So we just talked about changing one thing in our day to make us better people. And he was just like, okay, I'm really committed to it. And before we knew it, we were done with the wall sit challenge, and I've never seen Hussein not more happy in his life. Like, I've only known him for a year and a half now, and I see him smile more now in the last month and a half than I've ever seen him smile probably since the time we met. Yeah. So it's just really cool to see how easy, but how long it can take for somebody to realize, like, why am I, not that he was miserable, but like, he just wasn't a happy guy all the time. Like, he just, you know, very sullen. Mm-hmm. And so I just like, if you change one thing, Hussein, you will change another and another and another. And I've literally never seen him smile so much. So just.
That's awesome. I mean, you're honestly an example of a walking, breathing, E plus R equals O example. And it's cool. I mean, I talk about it all the time. It's something I carry with me everywhere. And it's, if you can truly live it, it changes your life. Yeah. Even in your toughest situations, mm-hmm. It changes your life, because we're going to be given things that we don't think we can handle. Yeah. I mean, but we can handle the outside factors of them, and mm-hmm. we can handle how we respond to them, and we can handle what we can control. Yep. And it's just something you carry with you. It becomes habitual after a while, like whoa, okay, I sit down, or I know that I'm not being myself when I'm grumpy or like pissed off. I'm like, what happened? Then I sit and self-reflect. I actually started getting to self-reflection last year, getting to Casey's classes, and I know you guys talked about that, but I sat down and I know the person I was when I was going through this the first time, and that was being positive, getting through it, you know, keeping up with things, but also taking care of myself when I don't feel good. Mm-hmm. And so I had to step back and just really, like, is this who I want to be? Is this who I want other people to see me as? Like, not that I care about people's opinions, but I do want to make a good impression. Like, I don't need to make somebody else's day harder, you know? So that's, like, my goal is never to make somebody's day easier, honestly. Like, I love helping people, and that comes with being your own self-helper. Like, you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of other people. And I think with that, like, sometimes we get like really down about the situations around us that's going on, that's like bringing us down, and we forget about the things that can keep us positive. And I was actually talking to an athlete today, and we were just talking, and they were really just down. You could just see they were down. So I was just checking up on them, and they were saying, I just don't know how to be positive right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know where to find positivity. And I simply asked, are you alive? Mm-hmm. Like, start there. Start with something small but so big at the same time. Yeah. Are you alive? Find the little wins and build that momentum. Yeah. Like, if you truly look, like, there's so many blessings in our life that we 100% take it for granted. Yeah, 100%. And I think with you, I think one of my favorite things is when I first saw you, I thought you were just rocking, like, the super shortcut. Yeah.
I think a lot of people did. They're like, oh, she's.
I was like, this is
different.
I'm cool. Like,
yeah,
she's
I did have a super short boy cut haircut when I first came to
but
college.
nobody knew your story.
Yeah.
Which I think is even a better story because nobody knew your story, and everybody had their first like, oh, why she had this haircut, blah, blah, all this stuff, and then like you truly get to know you, and it's cool to hear all this. And then I just remember seeing your hair get long, and it was such a cool thing because you were so like pumped up about it. And then I was so bummed when I heard you had cancer because I'm not gonna lie, one of the first things I thought about was your hair.
That is the first thing I thought of the first time. The second time, I was like, oh, I'm so ready to rock this bald look again. Like I cannot wait. Like I did not embrace it my first time. I was super self-conscious in high school. Like just never thought I was good enough, never thought I was pretty enough, never thought I was skinny enough. All the things that a lot of high school girls honestly go through. Now I have to cut my hair. Like the one thing I actually like about myself, the one thing people compliment me on, like I'm gonna lose that. And so I did cry.
Talking about it all the time, like, oh, I can't wait for my hair to get long. Can't wait for my hair to get long.
Yep.
And it was like, it might have been the slowest growing hair.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, come on. And then it finally started to get long. Like it was a break, and you came back, and it was long. I was like, all right, I see you.
It was summer break, and when we met, it was me, you, Romy, and Sarah in Babcock. I was desk sitting, and you're like, holy cow, my hair was like down to my shoulders. Like, yeah, dude, my hair's back. Like, look at it. And it was shoulder length. I was like, I can't wait for it to get longer. Like, but I was like, oh my gosh, people notice. So
and it's crazy because we're celebrating hair.
But it's a little thing that is a big deal. It can be a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it just goes to like taking for granted the little things in life.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just get so focused on the things that are beating us down. We don't look at the things that are trying to hold us up.
Yeah. Yep. There's so many positive things in your life. Like, my nails got a little bit longer. My hair got a little bit longer today. Like, people have told me my hair's already growing back. I'm like, I'm a little bit sad to see my bald head leave, but I'm also like, it's another win. I know that I'm getting better because my hair is growing back, you know.
You know, shave it.
Yeah, I know I could, but now it's growing back, so why would I? You know? So, no, but when I did find out about it again, one of the first things I thought about was, one, now I'm in a serious relationship, like, how are we going to respond to this as a couple? And then I was like, Teddy's going to have to cut my hair. Like, everybody's barber is now my barber, and he's going to have to shave my head straight up. Keep it trimmed up for you? Yeah, no.
Are you ever just, like, feeling it?
Yeah, I do all the time. And, like, I actually have a lot of people, like, when I first cut it, too, they, of course, felt my head. And then when I got bald, they felt my head. And now that it's growing back, Ethan just today was like, oh, your hair's coming back. And I was like, I know. Isn't that crazy? He's like, yeah. And then he felt it right away. Like, it is what it is, you know?
Do you ever think it's a little weird when people feel your head?
I don't know if it's certain people. Like, I'm just like, hey.
Do people, like, come at you, like, randomly and just, like, feel your head?
I don't think it's, like I know people.
Yeah.
Like, the close people in my life, I'm like, sure, go ahead. Because I know our relationship. The people that I'm not as close with that are just like, like a little puppy dog, like, please do not touch me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, or just ask, like, hey, do you mind if I feel your head? Like, that would be fine with me. But when they're just like, oh, you shaved your head.
I think it's so much easier just to feel it than asking, like, hey, can I feel your head?
Yeah, but, like, with you, I don't care. With other people, I'm like.
I just remember when I was younger, I always had, like, a buzz because my dad was just like, I'm going to cut your hair. Yeah. I was like, all right. Like, I didn't know any different. Yeah. But, like, people always be like, oh, your hair feels well. I was like, why are you touching my head?
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's so, like.
But little wins. I probably felt cool for Ethan to not feel his own hair coming back, so it's fine, totally fine. Anyway.
I kind of have like one more question about all this, but like, what gets you out of bed in the morning? Like, what truly gets you, like, when you wake up, you think, like, this is what you think of, and it gets you that motivation to get out of bed when cancer's beating you down, your knees beating you down, chemo's beating you down. What gets you out of bed?
This is going to sound so corny, but I love, like, obviously I'm in love with Tay-Tay, but getting to, like, roll over or, like, just wake up and see somebody so committed to me, like, one, that's absolutely one of the reasons I love to wake up in the morning. I'm like, hi, honey. And he hates when I look at him, like, or not look at him, but like stare at him. And so like I just roll over, I smile, and then I'm like, okay, God, I need to get up today. Like, especially for workout mornings, I roll over, I see him still sleeping. I'm like, okay, I gotta get out of bed quiet. And then I'm like, ooh, now I get to go see 20 some girls like grind, and sometimes it's suffering. So like haha, you are just only making yourself better. So one, I'm like truly in love with the person I get to go to bed with, and two, I love waking up and seeing people progress, and so like just get better. And we do see it every day. I know one of our athletes gets so frustrated because she doesn't think she's improving, and every single day she's becoming a better lifter. Like every single day we see that improvement in her, and I know she gets so frustrated, and it's multiple athletes, but one in particular, that she just gets so frustrated. I'm like, dude, you're doing so well. Like I love to come and see that, and I love to see people push themselves, or I love to push people to their limits, past their limits, like past what they think they can do, because it's all up here. And I know that that's one thing I've lost in these two things, like a different mentality. I've lost my mental strength a lot in lifting. I'm just like, I did 5 push-ups on with no knees. Now I'm going to go to my knees. I'm like, I could have done 10. Like, why did I not just do the rest of those? Like, my mental strength has gone down a lot, but I love watching my athletes push themselves and just like, it's just, I don't know. I love that. I love seeing people improve. So that's what gets me up. One, I love love. I'm super corny when it comes out. Like, I could start crying now because I'm literally just so in love. And two, I'm in love with seeing people improve. And like, that's like, I'm so excited. I'm not even gonna brush my teeth this morning. So I just roll out, put my sweatshirt on, head over to the gym. Like, don't care. I'm ready to see these people.
With that, I lost my train of thought. But, oh yeah, a funny story. When the other day when you came out to me like, no, I was looking for a reason not to work out today. I got a bloody nose, and I was gonna use that as my reason.
I was like, yeah, I woke up this morning, got a bloody nose, I'm gonna be late. I was gonna work. I told myself last night I'm gonna get up, work out this morning. Then I got a bloody nose, and like, I can't do it. Not gonna do it today. Got there, we were short numbers in girls. Like we didn't have an even number. So I'm like, Lord, you told me last night I was gonna go work out. You're telling me this morning I'm still gonna work out. So guess I'm working out today. So yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I actually tried to do it the other morning too. I was like, I'm gonna get up, work out with these girls this morning. Got out of bed. I was like, man, I don't want to work out. We were short numbers again. I'm like, okay, fine. We're gonna do it.
We'll start breaking up into odd groups for you.
Okay. So yeah, I know. I just believe there's a reason, a rhyme, time and place for everything. So that's just who I am.
I love it.
Thanks.
So we're gonna finish with just some questions.
Yeah.
These are off the wall questions, just quick. First thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Kind of.
Yeah. Like I said, I have no idea what you're gonna ask me.
Yeah.
I told you not to tell me.
Yeah, and on a little upbeat.
Okay.
So, what is something that is really popular now, but in 5 years everyone will look back on and be embarrassed by?
Probably the shoot dance. Like, it's so overrated. It's so cool right now.
Is that the one like
shoot?
Oh, that.
Yeah, that one.
I was thinking like the backpack boy one.
What's that called? The floss.
I think that one's
dumber. Fortnite might be out of style in 5 years. It's going pretty heavy right now. Yeah. But I think slowly it's going out the door. Even I'm like, I don't feel like playing. Like, I want to do something. I'm going to get on Fortnite. Nah. I don't feel like doing it. Because it's already getting, like, too much. Like, it should have just stayed its original. Yes. Yeah. And those zombies during Halloween, I was like, oh, no. I'm out till you guys update this again. I think, yeah. That's all I can think of. I think, makeup videos. They're, like, so heavy right now all over, like, timelines. I know this is, like, not pertaining to you, but all the time I see people, like, doing makeup videos, and I think it's so cool that that's something that they love to do. But I think that there's only so much you can do with it that it's not going to be such a big thing. There, that one.
I think mine is jewels.
Oh.
Yeah.
One, they're horrible for you. Don't do it.
Yeah, terrible.
2.
It's literally trying to get you to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. 2, they're
they're banning them.
Yes, yeah,
They're
they
banning
are.
the flavors.
Yeah, they are, because the epidemic of teen smokers or teen jewelers is outrageously high. Like, it is horrible. And so I'm ready for those to be gone.
One of my buddies actually tweeted this today. He said, I have a conspiracy that tobacco actually started the Juul so they can get you hooked, and now it's banned, so that now you're hooked on tobacco, you have to buy cigarettes.
Go back to cigarettes. Crazy Illuminati stuff.
So, wild. But, all right, next question.
Okay.
What movie could you see yourself in?
Moana, 100%. Oh my gosh. When they said, first of all, this girl, what's her name? The singer for Moana, I was like, you're going to pick a Hawaiian girl, and she's playing with The Rock. I remember, okay, let me backtrack. When the game plan came out, it has The Rock and Madison Pettis in it.
Yeah.
So salty that they did not ask me for that part. Like, that's all I've ever wanted to be, was the rock star. Like, love my family to death, but like, The Rock, doy, I want to be his daughter. I want to play in a football movie as a dancer. Like, never danced my whole entire life. My mom tried, never did it. I was like, I would have been perfect for this part, even though I don't know how to dance. Like, why didn't you ask me? So then, when Moana came out, I was like, okay, first of all, I have the best singing voice I've ever heard, and two, like, The Rock, like.
So they're just supposed to know and like come find you.
Yeah. Yeah. So when they make a live action film, call me. I can put a wig on.
I'm a big fan of Moana. I play it in the weight room all the time.
I love it.
And like the best part is when I play it, I just love to see who starts singing it. Especially when I got like the guy teams in there.
Yeah.
Love to see who starts singing it.
And I feel like so many people have not watched it. And if like everybody knows Let It Go, why don't people know of the songs?
The best part about Moana is, Kana said it today, and I've never really thought about it. You always have those Disney movies where it's all about love, but Moana's all about family.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%. Poly life. Yeah, no. Sign
Super
me up for the live action version of Moana. I can't wait to meet my grandma, like, with the cool stingray tattoo. Thought about getting it the day after I saw Moana, like, full back tat of a stingray.
Do it. Why not?
Somebody put me in.
Life's short.
Somebody put me in. What's your movie? Sorry.
I think it would be a little cliche, but it's probably going to be Friday Night Lights.
Really?
Down in Texas, football.
Mm.
That's the dream.
Yeah, I love football.
Back in Permian football.
Yeah, I love football. That's a good one.
It was good, really good.
Or as Hayden Panettiere in Remember the Titans. Oh, God, I would love that role.
Oh, I thought you were saying for me. I was like, well, the same thing.
Nope. For me, I love her role in that part. Like, I feel like that is me. Back
when I used to have my long hair, they used to call me Sunshine.
Ooh, Sunshine.
I always really appreciated Sunshine in that movie. Shout out Blake Nallen, my buddy. But is a hot dog a sandwich?
I guess technically, because it's between two pieces of bread, yes. But I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna go make myself a hot dog sandwich. Like, no, people don't say that. So, I would not. Technically, it probably is. Personally, no. I'm just gonna go put a hot dog in a bun.
So does that mean
hamburger's a sandwich, 100%.
But it's a bun.
Yeah, but it's like just like you put a sandwich.
Okay, so if you take a hot dog and you're out of buns and you use two pieces of bread, does that make it
you use one piece of bread and do the hot dog fold.
But it's not using a bun.
It's still, yeah, it's fine. But neither is a hamburger. You're using two buns. So you're making a sandwich.
So you put a hot dog in between two pieces of bread, though. Does that make it a sandwich?
Who would do that? You fold up one piece of bread.
But does that make it a sandwich then?
And stick the hot dog there.
Does that make it a sandwich?
Nope, still not. I'm not counting
it. All right, last one.
Yep.
What secret conspiracy would you like to start?
What? Okay, ask me again.
What secret conspiracy would you like to start?
Okay, like Bush did 9/11.
Probably not like a conspiracy,
right,
but like not like that deep. But maybe, I mean, unless you want to make it that deep.
I think one, that there is a easy cure for cancer. I think that's I don't know if that counts, but I do think there is.
No, that's actually like conspiracies out there.
Yeah. So
think how much money goes into cancer.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
guess I
know.
don't have to tell you the thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I think it's fitness watches. I think there's something around fitness watches and how they track. 100% how they track you. And first of all.
But I think that's already a conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd like to start, but I think something needs to be looked into.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yep. I don't know. I don't think I could think of one at the top of my head. That's a hard question. A conspiracy that I want started. That. I don't know. That's hard.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
That was a cool question, but.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on.
Yeah, no problem.
Guys, if you get a chance, you're on campus or anything, and you get a chance to talk to Mikaelah, do it. It'll be a great conversation. She is a talker, so there won't be any dull moments for sure. But I truly appreciate her, and I love her from the bottom of my heart. She's family to me, and to hear her story and to hear somebody go through something like that and still live our culture, the E plus R equals O, it's a cool thing because you see somebody actually living it out and showing you it is possible to do this, even when you're facing your toughest battles you could possibly go through, and you've had things in your life that have tried to bring you down. People have tried to bring you down. The devil has tried to bring you down. Outside factors have tried to bring you down, and you're still winning and still staying positive.
You said culture, and just really quick, I think that's a really big thing that I know I've talked to my brother about. I know we've talked about culture, and just kind of to wrap up my end, I guess, is that's what I'm trying to build is a positive culture, something that people want to be a part of. And like anytime I ever meet with a prospective student, prospective athlete, a potential new member, I just want them to leave and just be like, that's something that I want to be a part of. And I think that's huge. As an individual, like you have to start with yourself in order to either start a culture, be a part of a culture, and so I think culture is huge.
Oh, big time. Crazy thing about culture, the first 4 words of culture is cult.
The first 4 letters.
4 letters, yep.
Cool.
There we go. Anyways. Again, thank you. Next week, guys, it's going to be those 2 topics we talked about at the beginning, right? A little bit about time, a little different way, not about time management, and then we're going to talk about some weightlifting stuff. So whatever you want to talk about weightlifting, let me know. Instagram or the website. Please, I want to talk about what you guys want to talk about because you probably don't want to hear what I want to talk about because it's not as exciting for you. And on some positive vibes, my positive vibes for the day are take advantage of the opportunities given to you every single day. Every single day. And do not waste a second. Time is just a construct. You have the option of doing whatever with it you want. If something matters to you, you will find time to make it happen. If it doesn't, you'll push it off. Like that homework you're pushing off right now, that is something that you should make time for, right? We can always find time for our video games, our Netflix, things we want to do, but find time for everything. Make it possible, make it happen, right? Find time for what you love and what you care about.
My positive vibe is just to remember that it's actually on the bracelet you're wearing. It's John 13:7 is, you do not know now what I'm doing, but soon you will. And it's just like my mantra to push through. Like I know, like we talked about earlier, I know my plan. I know my path is set for me. Now it's just me knowing to follow that. So be yourself and always remember to take advantage of your opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you again.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I love being here.
I love it. Do not forget to lift your Monday. Have a great Monday, guys.